Howdy there, fellow Shadow Priests. Today we are looking at PvP talents, and if you know me, I love PvP, so let's get right into it. We already have a video on Void Volley and Megalomania. We were just one-shotting people, kind of doing gimmicky bursts with this, but I feel like people at higher ratings are starting to catch on, so I'm not actually using Megalomania too often in threes. A new build I've been trying is Void Volley and Driven against double melee. That seems to be really good for doing big ass damage while you're getting trained, and yeah, especially against cleaves, that's really good. So I'm typically going to play those. We want to pair it with Ancient Madness, usually running Shadow Crash too. So Ancient Madness is going to amp your crits on those Void Volleys as they come out, and then also it is paired with the Maledict. If you, someone pointed out in my last video, if you have Ancient Madness buff and you use Maledict, it's going to crit for like a majority of those ticks, and that's going to put out tons of pressure. So something to keep in mind there. Other new changes to our talents. Psyfiend got buffed, so it has more HP. This is going to be really good against certain classes that don't have enough damage output to kill it instantly. It's going to be really good against like Shadow Priests suck at killing it, Rogues suck at killing it, Warriors seem to be pretty good at killing it, but for the most part, I really love Psyfiend against caster teams and like melee caster healer. So we'll cover some more about that later. Improved MD, it's going to give us a really short MD cast time on a 15-second cooldown. This is awesome into mages, it's good into hunters, and it's good into like warlocks, you know, anything with tons of magic CC. We're going to want to take this talent. I think it's almost baseline every game against mages and hunters, to be honest. Swap, I will play into RMP, and that's pretty much it. I don't need it against anything else, I feel like. We won't want to play Void Shield just because it's too strong, and if we start playing it now, we're going to get Shadow Priest nerfed, and if they take this talent away, I won't be able to get rank 1 this season. Speaking of rank 1, we did log in and get the Sinful title today, and the weapon. That's so cool. Great day for a Tuesday. Going through more changes. Mind Trauma we don't really want to use. It's hard to get good value out of that. Driven, like I said, I'm going to use that against 2 melee when they train me. And then I think Fade is just baseline every game. I don't think we untalent Fade. There's too much that we can do with it. So we're going to keep rocking that. Yeah, so I also tried using the Auspicious Spirits talent today with the Haunting Apparitions when I was playing with an Ellie Shaman, just so we can do more spread pressure, and that seemed to be pretty good as well. So let's hop into some examples of these talents, you know, when you want to use it for certain comps, and get some real video evidence out there. Alright guys, so here we're not playing with a warrior, so I'm playing Instant Void form because I don't want to deal with interrupts, trying to get the Void Volley off our burst. And essentially we're just going to stack up on these jabronis, run in, and try to do your go as soon as possible, because this means that you're going to get pressure before them and they're going to have to go defensive. And look, the warrior gets Void Volleyed. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, and trinkets and dies through. And even if the warrior didn't die there, like, look at the DPS, like the shaman was dying too. I mean, that's a lot to handle if you're going up against a guy named Void Jizzer and all of a sudden everyone's just going down to 20% HP. You don't really know what to do, right? So 9.5k DPS, we did hit 10k, but you know, I'm saying we go 20k next time. Fuck it. Just, yeah, he dies through cooldown. And the fact that I have like multiple clips of this, like high rated teams, we're not that high on playing Spriest DK, but we've definitely beaten some good teams running this strat. I mean, it's your best bet against the melee cleave. You just straight up won't do damage otherwise. So let's look at maybe a game where other talents would be more important, because Void Volley isn't good against everything. I wouldn't always play it. So let's check out a game where we swap out our talents. Okay, guys, this is a RPS mirror, so a good example of when to not play Void Volley. I'm playing Void Origins and Psyfiend, actually. Psyfiend, if you didn't already know, got buffed and has more HP now, so it's actually going to be really useful against some of these teams that can't one-shot it instantly. So think of Rogue, think of Shadow Priest. Like, us trying to kill a pod is hard enough. The Psyfiend is equally hard. I mean, we don't have a lot of abilities to kill it. It's going to take 3 to 4 globals for a Rogue to kill the pod if they don't have like Mark for Death and Venom or something, or combo points. So we're going to set up in the Priest here, dot him up. I'm playing Instant Void form. If I Void Volleyed there, I'm not even sure I would have really hit anyone, although the Priest kind of did walk into us. I Psyfiend the Priest as well. Kind of a bad use of Psyfiend on the first go around here. It's still sucking him, He now gets out of line a bit, and but yeah, essentially I use Psyfiend while the Shaman will still CC'd, and that's not how you want to do it. You want to use it particularly when the target is low HP and requires a lot of healing, and then also when the shaman isn't CC, because if we put an MS on him while he's not receiving healing, it's not going to do that much. But hopefully we get more value out of this next one. We're just trying to keep this guy purged and purged and purged. Trying to stun the shaman. He is DR'd, my bad. Don everybody up. Here's where the Siphon's going to come in, guys, right here. Priest is low HP. Siphoned on him. He's getting sucked dry. He's getting sucked dry. You can see it took the rogue like 4 seconds to kill it. And we just get a lot of pressure off of that. I think had we not siphoned there, that Priest is probably looking at like 80% HP or more. So really good that we're able to keep the pressure rolling. It was pretty back and forth though, so I dispersed, but maybe I didn't need to. I don't know. Anyways, keep doing damage, keep purging, and if I had Siphon in this situation, I would probably also use it just because he was low HP. But now you can see he easily gets topped. A lot of rogues aren't playing Wound Poison as well now. They're playing Hemotoxin, so maybe rotating Hemotoxin and Siphon is a really smart thing to do, so you always have like a big MS for your target. I think I get DR stunned here. So we have a Siphon here. I'm going to press it now. We have no more CC for the Shaman after that silence, and you know, even if the Shaman came out of CC, that Siphon is going to sit full because the rogue just like stepped away anyway. So alright, so here's a good example of a proper use of Siphon. I know in the last one we had a couple oofies where we used it while the healer was CC'd. In particular, you want to use it to absorb like big healing abilities. So we see the Feral is sub like 50% HP here. I dropped the Siphon, the Pally Divine Favors, and boom, look at that. It didn't really heal him at all. So we get some nice CC going. I'm going to Fear the Lock here to stop that fear. Siphon, Divine Favor goes off, and the guy barely gets healed. I mean, it's just incredible how much healing you can absorb with it. It's 50% MS, which is just super, super strong, man. I don't know how else to put it. Hope that is a good example. There's probably a bad example if we look later in the game. Let's see, it's off cooldown. When am I going to use it? I dropped the Siphon, but the Feral's in the bomb, so he's not getting healed anyways. I think the better play would have been to Siphon now while the Paladin bubbles and gets out of the bomb, and we use the quick MD to get his bubble off as well. So that's just examples of good and bad uses. Here's probably another bad use. I see it, we're doing damage, so I just flop it. I think they kill it fairly quickly. Not that quickly, actually. That was an okay use. He went down to 50% because of it. So not the worst, but definitely want to work on the timing. I think it's the same thing with the Maledicts. I really struggle with incorporating that into my rotation, so I think that will help us out a lot if we can get better uses out of that. How do we use this one? It's up in 2 seconds. It's up in 2 seconds. Oh, pressed it while he's low and regenning. It still has the debuff on him. Does he run back into line of the Siphon? He's just going to die. Okay. Oh, he leaves the game. Yep. All right. Next example. All right. Enough talk about Siphon. Let's just talk about how good improved MD is, especially, like we said, into RMP, into mage teams. So it looks like my Druid's about to get sapped out this kidney. I grip him over, instantly MD the sphere before the rogue can get to me and kick me. And we're able to not use any cooldowns this go because I just instantly MD the CC before anything emerges. I put on stun DR, and essentially nothing happens to us. So it keeps us aggressive, actually, even though it's a defensive talent. Being able to turn around and instantly start doing damage again actually can add a lot more pressure than Void Volley would, or than, you know, Void Origins would. Like, being able to actually be out there and do damage is a major tool to have. So let's just watch this game play out a little bit. I typically am going to run Swamp. I should be running Swap. I think I fucked up and I'm running Siphon and it's just straight up not on my bars. So I'm going to fade, just a prayer, get out of the bomb, and just try to dot everything up right now. Fake the kick, dot the mage, torrent the rogue. Everyone's dying. Benefits of having an Ellie on your team. Triple dot everybody. There's no kicks. Shear the priest and boom. Line games and win. So solid setup there. Didn't have to trade that many cooldowns because we got that fast MD, which was awesome. Here's just a quick little other scenario where I'm actually playing the right talents. We have Swap and we have improved MD. Not sure if we get the value out of the MD here, but we definitely get value out of the Swap. I mean, look how low he gets. We are able to life swap, keep us alive. We save, I guess, Smexton's Trinket, but he doesn't really have any buttons to press, even if he does Trinket. So definitely important that I'm able to get that off there. We're going to really need to go aggressive now that we survived that go. Purge the Holy Ward off the Priest. Try to mind games the Mage. Doesn't really amount to that much, unfortunately. Dot everybody up, dot everybody up. Oh, MD the Sheep instantly. There we go. We do get good value out of the MD. So this is another go where they use stun DRs, but because I removed the polymorph, we don't have to use anything. We don't have to disperse. I guess Mixon did use his trinket, but like I said, he didn't have anything to use with it. And boom, we land the kill right there. So just being able to MD and then go aggressive is actually going to add more pressure sometimes than those damage talents, like I said. So let's just get back to square one. I did name my priest Void Jizzer after all, so it wouldn't be remiss to not include another example of just epic loads being blown out onto people. Think this actually could be really good into a number of comps. You don't need to play it into only double melee. I was thinking also melee caster healers where the melee is on you is going to be fine as well. But yeah, just look at this damage. Crazy. Everyone's getting feared on their trinket. The mind games goes off. Boom. And we win. I mean, so crazy, man. So crazy. Alright, the TLDR of this video is that Driven to Madness and Void Volley are your highest damage output talents, and you're going to want to play that a lot against double melee. If you struggle with getting the Void form off and you find you're not actually able to use it on cooldown, play Void Origins and you'll do similar output, but Driven is going to add a little extra sauce. Play Improved MD against Mages and Hunters, Life Swap against RMP, Psyfiend into melee caster healer matches where you think they won't be able to kill Psyfiend, and having that extra MS gives you a really nice advantage. It is personal preference on the Psyfiend or not. You have to get good value out of it. If you're not using it, like we talked about in the video, where you're using it to absorb a big heal, it's not going to be that effective. So definitely want to make sure we wire our brains correctly and use it at the right times. Megalomania is risky, but you can probably get away with it at lower ratings, and you would probably still want to run Void Volley, so you're basically substituting Driven for Megalomania, and that's going to give you instant ways to do damage, but you can do the same exact DPS output with these talents and less like risk of dying. So just putting that out there, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more content and let me know what you want to see. Definitely going to be playing some more 3v3 soon. Yeah, stay tuned for the stream. I'm trying to get partnered on Twitch, so any extra follows would help. Thank you.